I didn't wake up and think like, I'm going to be a military wife. Like, it is really hard. Like, there's days where, I'm not very godly, and I yell and I scream and I'm just like, get out of the Navy. Like, we don't need this. Like, it can be really hard.
Welcome to Mommispace. My name is Brianna Bernhard, your hostess, and I am a new mom. I selfishly created this podcast to get some advice and inspiration from the moms in my community who are doing amazing things while raising their families. I've realized motherhood is hard, but knowing I'm not alone in this call makes all the difference, and I hope you feel refreshed as you listen. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome back to Mommispace. This is Bree, and today I'm here with Robin Voeltz. Welcome to the show, Robin.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I asked Robin to be on the show partially because she's a badass mom who is raising two baby girls, but also because of her and her husband's unique situation in that she's a military wife. And I know that there are a lot of moms out there who encounter these kinds of, that kind of life. So yeah, I'm like really excited to hear more from you about how that looks and all of that. But yeah, I think you and I met at Crossroads, right? Was that where we met?
Yeah,
or was it
Crossroads.
Vineyard?
I want to say Crossroads.
Okay.
I think I got confused. Yeah, with churches, but definitely Crossroads.
I know. Somewhere in there. The churches are always the connection typically. But yeah,
Right.
We've known each other for a while, but it has just been connecting on social media mostly. So I'm excited to connect with you today.
I know. It's nice to finally talk to you.
I know. I always watch your stories on Instagram, and your beautiful babies. Always love your pictures. So
thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Before we dive in, would you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and family life, where you're located, all that good stuff?
Yeah, well, you said my name. My name is Robin.
Yeah.
I am located in San Diego with my family. We're here on military orders, so it's a blessing to live here. Unfortunately, It's very expensive to live here.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I'm a young mom, about to be 23. Me and my husband have known each other for 5 years now. Close to being married for 3. We have 2 beautiful daughters. Tesla is 18 months, so 1.5, and Adeline is 4 months, heading into her 5th month. So it's been an adventure.
Wow.
Yes, we definitely tried for our first child because all I wanted was to be a mom.
Aww.
And we got pregnant like 4 months after we got married because I was super like, this is what I want now. Like, I got my husband, and now I want my little. And I prayed for a daughter, and I got my daughter, and it was great. And definitely not what I expected at first. I had postpartum depression very badly, and unfortunately I did not seek proper help for it, so I internalized it, and it did affect me and Nick for a while. But as soon as we got good to go and we were feeling great and enjoying our little family, I felt funny, woke up, typically I was like, maybe I should take a pregnancy test.
Oh my gosh.
Took a pregnancy test, forgot that I took a pregnancy test because my mom brain was somewhere else, and Nick walked into the bathroom and was like, honey, you're pregnant.
Oh my gosh. Like, no way.
No, you're joking. Yeah, Tess was she had just turned 6 months. So that was like,
my
whoa.
Gosh. Wow.
That's when our world got turned a little upside down. But now I feel like having him back home, and we're just now settling into the fact that we have 2 children, because he left after she was 2 weeks. And was back and forth in between that time, and then he was gone for a long period of time. So it's like now I feel like we're just starting to get in the groove of like, oh wow, we have 2 kids.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so how has that been for you, like with being a military wife? Like, can you? I don't have a lot of like understanding about that life and that commitment, because it's a huge commitment. But yeah, could you just tell us
Yeah.
tell us about your life? Tell us about all of that.
So I could actually tell you that I was with him before he joined, so that
Okay.
I've been with him since like him starting off, which has been really
Oh,
good.
that's cool.
And I feel like it really grounded us because it wasn't like I was just jumping in and he had his lifestyle and I had to incorporate my lifestyle into
Yeah.
his. It was like we made the decision and then we grew together in it, which that
Mm,
alone I think really helped us.
mm,
I couldn't imagine like just jumping into it.
mm-hmm.
God bless those who do.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, when we dated, he said I wanted to join, and I said okay, I'm all game for it. My grandpa is a senior chief in the military, so I
Oh,
kind of
wow.
understood like what it took from like my grandma, and I was like okay, I'm all for this. So he went to boot camp, and that was really hard because it's 2 months of just not
Yeah.
talking.
Oh
Maybe
my
like a phone
gosh.
call here or there, but they're like 5-minute phone calls, and then
Wow.
lots of letters. He actually got made fun of in boot camp. He was like, "Voeltz, are you writing to yourself?" And he's like, "No, my
Oh.
girlfriend just loves me."
Oh my
So
gosh.
just lots of love there. And then, he got out of boot camp, and what they do is they have to go to A school, and so that's like his was over a year, and that was in Illinois. So again, we were still
Wow.
separated, and I had to fly out every month to see
Oh
him for a
my
weekend,
gosh.
and that was we were just dating, so
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
alone is like rough.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then he came back to San Diego, and we were all excited, and you have to share him with the family, which is hard because you're like, no, you're my boyfriend, I want you, but everybody
Yeah.
wants to see him, and that's always hard because you're like, oh, you're home, like let's just be normal, let's just go to the mall, but no. So it's a lot of chaos dating during that transition, and then once we got married, we didn't you know, get our own place for, I want to say almost a month. We had to live with my
Mm-hmm.
grandparents because, again, just transitioning and paperwork, filling
Wow.
out not only just what you need in general to get married, just filling out the
Right.
spousal paperwork for the military and,
Wow.
giving it to the hands of those who, A, can sit on the desk for a while or just all that.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Finally got our own apartment, and that's been fun. And now we live in military housing. We're very fortunate to live in military housing with our kids, so it provides a lot of
Wow.
space for us. But
That's great.
yeah, just day to day. Luckily, I have been very fortunate not to experience an actual deployment
Okay.
for a lot of different reasons. Unfortunately, he did get injured on a ship, so he
Oh man.
yeah, so he wasn't able to be on the ship for a while, and now just making a bunch of transitions. They put him in a lot of schooling. And I always joke, I'm like, sometimes I just feel like I'm married to like a full blown like college student because it is a lot of schooling.
Wow.
I feel like people think like, oh, your husband's in the military, he's just like,
Yeah.
in Afghanistan or in Iraq. And
Right.
it's not the
Right.
case. And a lot of
Okay.
times it's just a lot of schooling, a lot of going to different states, staying there, learning, getting
Okay.
qualifications to eventually do this job. And then once they have the job, sometimes it switches. And that's what we've been experiencing a lot.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
that's been like, it's honestly been like frustrating because it's easier. And obviously, I say this with like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like compassion for those who do
Yeah.
struggle through deployments after deployments. My friend, she has her husband has been gone on multiple deployments back to back, and it's hard to watch. But
Yeah.
we both have agreed and sat down and talked like it is so much harder having your husband have to be away just across the country than it is
Oh
having him
wow.
be in like a different like actual country
Right.
because
Right.
it's like, you're just so frustrated. You're just like, I don't understand
Yeah.
like why he just has to be in that state for this one school
Right.
when he could
Right.
just like
That makes
it's
sense.
harder. So,
Yeah, because it's like, well, if they're
yeah,
in the
so it's
same
just
like country, like you're just a plane right away, right? Like, but it's different when they're
yeah.
like, wow, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's more of like you get in this mindset to prepare yourself like I know I can physically like not talk to him and I have to be okay with that. But then, like, the not knowing when he's going to call, the waiting by the phone for the text
Oh
message, the
man.
texting him immediately with something with the girls and not getting a response, but not being able to visualize what he's actually doing in his day. So
Wow.
I'm just like, well, why isn't he texting me back?
Uh huh.
He's not like on a ship. But in reality, he is working still for the military
Yeah.
and it's very demanding. So
Wow.
we have a different experience than deployment. So it's frustrating.
Yeah. Now, is he, you said that he was on a ship. Is he Navy or like what branch is he?
Yes, yes, he is in the Navy. He is a
Okay.
fire controlman in the Navy. So he works on a
Wow.
lot of like weapon systems.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I'm very
Ah,
proud of him. I'm married to a very ambitious, hardworking man. So it's
wow.
nice to not have to, be concerned with like, oh,
Mm,
are we gonna get a paycheck? Like, so
yeah,
it's a very huge
totally.
blessing with like, insurance. And like I said, we're in a house in San Diego.
Yeah.
I can like walk to the beach. Like, it's a big blessing,
Wow. Yeah,
but it's also like nerve-wracking.
for
So,
sure, for sure.
yeah. But yeah.
Wow. So it started off with just like, you guys were dating and he decided he wanted to do this for a living. Like, did you ever think that you would end up with somebody or in this position ever? Like, I know for me,
Not
like,
at
just because I have
all.
military in my family, I was always like, yeah, that doesn't sound fun to me. But I'm so,
If
like, it's so amazing, like, the sacrifice. And I'm so grateful for people who do that. Like, we need it. And it's a big deal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never thought, I didn't wake up and think like, I'm going to be a military
Yeah.
wife. Like, honestly, I was growing up in the church. I was like, oh, I got this. I'm going to be a pastor's
Yeah.
wife, which I mean, that's its
That's
own
so
thing, its own
interesting.
self.
Yeah. Still
Yeah. So
service, right? Like, that's
yeah,
cool.
definitely. But yeah, no, never did I think I would be. And, it's hard.
Hmm.
It is really hard. Like, there's days where, I'm not very godly, and I yell and I scream and I'm just like, get
Yeah.
out of the Navy. Like, we don't
Yeah.
need this. Like, it could be really hard,
Yeah.
on our family. And I think
Wow.
that's kind of where we're at, actually. Like, it's, I know deep down, like, he wanted to make this a 20-year career,
Yeah.
20 plus years. He wanted to excel, but unfortunately, like, God is clearly showing us that this is not for us. So hopefully, like, in the
Wow.
near future, like, that this isn't going to be a forever
Yeah. Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
He has a heart to serve. He wants to get out. He wants to be a cop, or, he
Wow.
has so many goals. Like, he is the definition of ambition. He puts his
Wow.
mind to something and then that's it. And he does it. And I'm really proud of him. So
That's
I
so
just stand
cool.
by him. And I feel like that's all
Yeah.
you can do.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Like, whatever
Yeah.
you want to do, I will be here for you. So
That's so
it's
cool.
hard because I don't do, like, I don't work. And that's nice.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice because I can definitely be there for my girls. But,
Yeah.
it's nice to get out and work
Yeah,
and,
totally.
you know, do something. So it's a
Yeah,
lot of like
actually,
sacrifice.
yeah. Oh my gosh, completely. I actually wanted to ask you a little bit about that because you had mentioned at the beginning, like, you'd always wanted to be a mom. Um, like, did you have other, like, passions in your life that you were pursuing before you became a mom that you, like, still would like to lean into in the future or in the season? Like, what does that look like for you?
Definitely. I definitely have lots of passions. Deep down, like, I love being creative. And my whole life, I danced and I performed. And that's been like the
Yes.
biggest passion for me. And, when I was in high school, I was like, this is it. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Um, I injured my knee pretty badly. And so that was a huge setback in itself. And so,
Okay.
when I got married, and I was totally that, I don't know what the right word is, but I was that full on like Navy girlfriend, like totally
Nice.
like just everything. Like, I'm just going to be by you. And in that time that I should have taken, for myself while he was
Mm-hmm.
at boot camp, I didn't. I sat and I was
Mm.
complacent, and I wish that I would have pushed myself more, because again, it just set me back and set me back. So, once I finally got pregnant, that was just like the biggest setback for
Mm.
that passion, but it still is like deep in me and it's coming back out. I just do not know where to channel it at this
Mm.
point in my
Yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah.
And, every time, I'm sitting with my mom and we're watching Dancing with the Stars, she always
Oh
makes the comments
man.
like, oh, I wished you danced. I wish you did this again. I'm like, okay, well, like, let me figure out when I can, I guess, or just the fact of
Yeah.
like, I mean, you just had a baby, you know how much the body changes.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
there's just so many factors I feel that are
Yeah.
pushing me away from that, unfortunately. But I know one day I will get back into it.
That's awesome.
Just probably not anytime soon.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah,
Different seasons for everything, right? Yeah, that's so cool.
definitely.
So, how do you stay inspired like day to day, like raising your daughters, and managing your time, and also like taking care of your heart?
Yeah, I was like contemplating this question the most. As far as staying inspired, with the lack of sleep that I have, I'm
Mm,
noticing like I notice myself, I get angry really quickly and
yeah,
it burdens me.
yeah,
So when I try to center myself throughout my day and I literally just look at my daughter Tesla, and of course Adeline too, but Tesla's a little bit
yeah.
older, she has more personality. I just look at her and I just see her little heart and that inspires me so much. I just
Oh,
don't care about anything at that moment and I just want to
yeah.
make her laugh. She has the best laugh
Oh,
and that's like the most inspiring thing. It's just like, okay, my one job today is make my daughter laugh. Like what can we
oh,
do?
wow.
So, yeah, that's I feel is like she's my inspiration and then
Yeah,
she flows into my other daughter Adeline.
yeah,
She's a hard baby. I've never
yeah.
experienced what I'm experienced with her with Tesla. So,
Wow.
just trying to stay inspired, like she'll cry for like 5 hours straight
Oh my
and
gosh,
it's
dude.
so hard to stay like inspired through that. I just want to
Oh,
like,
wow.
gonna put you in your room and shut the door. But
Yeah, yeah, that's
just
hard.
there's little tiny moments like it's just they are my inspiration, I guess.
Mm,
I love them. I wanted them. I brought them into this world, so
mm-hmm.
they're my
Yeah,
little muses.
that's awesome.
But as
Wow.
far as taking care of myself, I'm in this place, this awkward transition right now. My husband's been home for a week and a half, and it is an awkward transition,
Yeah.
going from our schedule to now a family schedule, and
Mm.
I have not had time to really take care of myself at all. So going to get a coffee
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel good. So that's
Yeah.
kind of how I've been taking care of myself. I've downloaded books, I have my devotionals, and I get so like, oh, I'm going to do these. And I start
Yeah.
reading something, and it's just so not realistic to be able to like read my books or do things. So it's
Mm.
really hard to take time to take care of my heart. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, wow, I really need to start taking care of
Huh.
myself.
I so appreciate,
So,
I mean, we talked about this a little bit before we started, but I so appreciate your like honesty there because I feel like I'm in a similar place and I'm just now slowly being able to start like doing stuff for myself or, working with my husband to try and figure out time to set aside or whatever. But
hmm
yeah, it's a process for sure. So
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I feel like I just had barely gotten myself figured out when Tesla was 6 months and then just bam, pregnancy
Oh my
again.
gosh.
I'm like in this like blur of figuring out who I am,
Yeah.
like what clothes I even want to wear. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I guess
totally.
that's how I've been feeding myself. I guess I have been taking that time to figure out like what I
Hmm.
like, what I want to wear, how I want to wear my makeup. My husband did just provide me with some contacts, so that made me happy. So just,
Nice.
yeah, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay,
There
there
you
are little
go.
things. Yeah.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so this is like the crazy question. Well, not crazy, but have you experienced mom guilt? And if so, how do you overcome it?
Every day
Yeah.
of my life, pretty much all the time. I have my husband, like Nick, that's his name.
Uh-huh.
He gets so uh, frustrated with me because I have this silly expectation of the mom that I'm supposed to be to the girls.
Yeah.
It's all up in our faces. Like being a young mom, I feel like is so incredibly hard. It's super up in our faces to be feeding our kids the most healthiest foods,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
not be watching TV,
Oh
to
my
be doing
gosh.
this and doing that. And I just feel like it's so much and it's made me feel like I'm not a good mom.
Mm.
And I really have to take a step back and know I am a good mom.
Yeah.
My kids are alive. They're healthy.
Yeah.
I was at church and Nick had been gone, and I had finally broke down. Everyone was just telling me like, "Oh my God, you're a super mom. Like, you go."
Oh.
And I'm like, "No, stop, please." Like, and I just started crying, and I had a friend, came up to me and she sat with me, she prayed with me, she calmed me down, and she just reminded me to look at my children and just to see that they are healthy. And I feel like that helped me overcome my mom guilt a lot. And that's a reminder at the back of my head, because my kids are healthy and they're alive, and that's the best I can do. If
Yeah.
Tesla ate a donut for breakfast, pizza for lunch, and then pizza for dinner, I think that she'll be okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, I don't do that all the time,
No,
but
totally.
I have to be okay with that, because
Yeah.
being in the situation I am, when I am by myself for most of the time, it's impossible
Oh
sometimes
my
to
gosh.
like get both of these girls back. They just back and forth with the mom business of like even diapers, back to back diapers all the time. So
Oh
I have
my
mom guilt,
word.
like I'm not giving them attention,
Oh
or like, did I
man.
play with Tesla enough today? So it's all the time, and I think
Yeah.
that just it's bad. But I blame a lot of social media for that too, because it's
Yeah, that seems to be the ticket for a lot of moms, I've found out, and for myself. Yeah, that's hard.
yeah, I'm constantly like, wow, like that mom's hair is curled and
Oh.
she has makeup on and she's wearing heels, but she has a 4-month-old. Like,
Yeah.
wait, I have a 4-month-old. Why don't I look like that?
Oh
Yeah,
man.
so I
Well,
think,
I think you're really good as far as what I've seen on your Instagram and your stories and stuff. I really appreciate your like realness. Like oftentimes like you won't have makeup on and you'll just be like in your element, and I love it. Like it makes me feel like, "Oh, yes, like I can be myself. Like I don't need to, whatever."
and
Um
honestly, that's why
I
I do
love
it.
it.
I mean, there's times, I'm sure, like when you're recording on your Instagram, you record a video, you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna post that.
That
And you
angle was
record the
not
same
right.
thing
Yeah.
over
Totally.
and over again. So I do that, but I do try,
Yeah.
like you said, like if I don't have makeup on, I don't have makeup on. If I'm in my
Yeah.
pajamas, so I really try to do that for the sake of myself, grounding myself, and like I
Yeah.
do want to help moms out there know, like,
Yeah.
hey, this is okay to be like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
That's so
appreciate
good.
you feeling
Oh,
that way, because that
yeah.
makes. I always tell my husband, like, if I can help one person, that is all that matters.
Oh, well, yes, you have. So thank you. Keep it up. Love it.
Thanks.
I love to talk about legacy. And I wonder, like, what do you think about when you hear the word legacy for your girls? Like, what do you want to leave them um, when you're gone, when they're older? Like, what does that look like for you?
So this always, when I think of my girls, I'm very emotional, and like I cry.
Hmm.
I can cry very easily at times. So
Girl, we're all with you on that one for sure.
like just like thinking about it,
Oh.
so like I had said in the very beginning, like struggling with the postpartum depression, like there's a lot of darkness that can sit in my heart and in my head with like body image. And um in high school, I had an eating disorder, and so even now, like through pregnancy and now after birth, like having struggles looking at myself in the mirror, that's been really hard. So when I see these two girls in front of my face, I know God blessed me with daughters for a reason, because I see their little faces and I see their perfect little skin and their
Yeah.
perfect little hair and their smiles, and they don't care what they look like. If Tesla's hair is half done and she's wearing the craziest outfit, she's still strutting her stuff in Target like she's
Oh, get
the
it.
cutest kid ever.
Oh,
And so
she's
just
so
seeing her,
cute.
thank you, seeing her innocence, I think I want them to know what mommy struggles with and the things that hold me back. I do not want that for them. I want that
Yeah.
spiritual bondage to be completely demolished for them. I want them
Yes.
to be like their daddy. I want them to be ambitious and so overly confident that they can do anything, and to always be kind to others,
Yeah.
because that's so important. I can't stand when people aren't kind. There's no
Yeah.
reason to be mean.
Yeah.
And I just always want them to know that wherever they're at in life, if, you know, they choose, heaven forbid, they choose not to follow, a life
Mhm.
like Christ, I just want them to know
Mm.
that God is always watching them and always
Mm.
looking out for them, and they can always turn to them. And I want that to be so instilled in them that wherever life takes them, or whatever decisions take, like, move them away or bring them closer, like that they just always have that in their heart, because that's so important. I feel like, God says, just come to me as you are, and I want them to know that forever. And I just want them to know, like, you're beautiful and it's gonna be okay.
Yes, that's a
Yes.
good word.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Aww. Okay, well, before we wrap it up, I like to ask some fun questions. So the first one would be a favorite product for yourself or for your babies that at this point you're like, I could not live without this.
Oh, I was thinking about that too when I was looking around. We are so lucky in this like time to be a mom.
Right? I know.
Everything is just so. I mean, I was buying a bathtub for Adeline, and the lady was like, "We didn't have this as,"
Yo,
and
for
she
real.
was relatively young, and I was like, "Oh wow, like I'm really lucky." But I think the
Yeah.
most thing that has been super helpful, especially not being able to have both the girls in my arms, is the DockATot
Ooh, yes.
for Adeline. It's like a huge safety thing that I
Yeah.
feel comfortable if I'm giving, Tess a bath or something, she could be in it. And
Yeah.
I know she's in a spot. So
Yes,
that's
totally.
for sure for that. Um, and I think for myself, I think I'm like, what do I use? Honestly, so we're gonna be really honest. Postmates.
Do it. Post.
Postmates, the
What's
app.
that?
That's where you go on here and you order food and people bring food to your door.
Oh, like kind of like a DoorDash or something?
Yeah, like an Uber Eats. It's been like,
Yes, that's
yes.
amazing. Girl, that's great. I
Yeah, if I'm
appreciate.
tired and I'm like, okay, I'm starving
Yeah.
and I have no time, I'm like, you could bring me food, I'll pay you, no worries.
It's
So
the
yeah,
greatest invention for sure. I mean, I
yes.
know they did that with pizza before, but this just seems like another level. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
very cool. Okay, and then do you guys have any family traditions that you like to share?
Yeah, I was thinking about that while we were out ornament shopping. So
Oh,
we like to obviously around this time of year just sit down and like reflect on our year,
yeah.
and we do that by picking out an ornament that most like comes with a memory from the year. So uh,
Oh,
this year we were able to find a little My Little Pony ornament for Tesla because I took her
cute.
to the movies for the first time, and this
Oh,
little
that's
girl
so
was like a
awesome.
princess. She had the entire movie theater to herself,
Oh
and
my
she
word.
was just like it was the best experience I think it could have been for just going to the movies.
Oh,
So that was really fun. So it was fun to find an ornament like that. So that's a fun family tradition for us. We each get to go and pick out. Now we get to decide for the girls, but I cannot wait till they're older and they can be like, oh, remember when I did this? Look, they have that. So that's what we do.
nice. I
Yeah.
love that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's super fun.
That's awesome. Okay, and then a piece of advice you'd give to a new mom.
Learn how to say no. It
Ooh.
took me, I mean, I've only been a mom for close to 2 years now, but it took me 3 years to learn this just by I think from being married to being a mom. I think it
Yeah.
comes with the territory. You have
Yeah.
to put your family first, and you have to learn when to say no, and it's okay to say no.
That's
It really is.
good.
It's okay to say
Yeah.
no. So,
Good word. That's
yes.
really awesome. I don't think I've had that like yet, so that's really good. I'm stoked that you said
Fantastic.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, Robin, thank you so much for doing this. You were amazing.
Thank you
And
for having me.
I'm excited to share this with our
Perfect.
audience.
I'm excited
Yeah.
for
Oh,
those to
and
hear.
okay, we'll put you're on Instagram, right? And Facebook? Are you on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
No, not Facebook, just
Oh, okay.
Instagram.
Okay, cool. We'll add your link to the show notes so people can go check you out and
Oh,
see
fun
your
stuff.
cute videos.
Yes, my beautiful babies.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Come give me a kiss. I know you won't want this forever. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Robin. It was really cool to get that perspective from a military wife, family that are in similar situations, and it's really cool to hear a different perspective. I have so much respect for the wives and the husbands who sacrifice so much for our freedom. So give her some love, guys. Links are in the show notes as always. And her babies are adorable. So you're definitely going to want to check her out. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Mommispace so you can get updates each week on future guests, past guests, and all the good stuff in between. I like to do Insta stories once in a while and do cute, funny quotes and pictures and all that good stuff. So come follow us and reach out. Email me at mommispace@gmail.com if you want to talk or have a suggestion for an interviewee you'd like me to reach out to. I would love that. And also, it would mean so much if you could leave a rating and review on iTunes. This helps get the word out, and if you're needing help on knowing how to do that, all of that is in the show notes as well. I so appreciate you guys. Thank you for continuing to listen in and support this little tribe that I've built up. It means so much. You are amazing, you are enough, and you're doing your very best. See you next week, Mama. Step